Welcome to the Friday edition of Podcast and Chill with Coach Leo. Today we are talking to Tlhalele, who is here to guide us, who is here to bring us insights, and who is here to really help us with the breakthroughs that we need in our personal space and in business and in our workplaces. Welcome, Tex.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity for me to be here.
Yeah, man, good to see you. Now, you call yourself a business and life coach. What does that entail, and how did you get to choose this career?
Okay. I got my breakthrough some years back. When you look at my career, I worked a lot as a talent and leadership development specialist for a few multinationals. But the breakthrough came when I used to work for Sasol. And at the time, there was a big project where we were rolling out what we call the leadership pipeline. And this is based on the book of Steven Drotter. So the company at the time invited Steven Drotter to come to the country. And I was fortunate to be part of the cohort that was going to be coached by Steven Drotter, and how he approached leadership and how he advised and coached us on how leadership can make a difference in people's lives. That blew me away. So from that point, I continued to coach internally in the companies. I moved to other 3 companies where I was just focusing on coaching leaders. And it was at that point when in 2015, I decided to get a formal coaching qualification. And I've never looked back since then. So when you talk of business and life coaching, those 2 aspects are intertwined. There is no way that you can focus on business and not focus on the life, or on life and not focusing on the business side of things. So in a nutshell, life coaching looks at giving people clarity of their lives and making clear their goals so that they can pursue what they need to do. But business coaching focuses on, especially around executives, to say, how do you equip these leaders to be able to improve results and deliver big results for the organizations that they work for? So those 2 work on an axis, if you like. They are intertwined. They cannot be separated.
Thanks for that, Tex. So what sort of training do you need for you to do this job effectively? Because, hey, man, it involves so much facets, including people's mind and things of the world. What sort of training do you need to be able to master this career? Because it looks like you need to be a superpower to do that.
Okay. There are a lot of professions, if you like, that come into building coaching. One, maybe I must start firstly with the person who is called a coach.
Yeah.
Firstly, you need somebody who's got love for people, that is passionate about developing others and empowering other people, but also somebody who would like to make a difference in the lives of other people.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of institutions out there in terms of coaching, but I would always encourage somebody to go for an institution that is accredited or aligned to the International Coaching Federation, because in South Africa, in different countries, coaching is not a regulated profession. So anyone can go out there and maybe open a school and stuff. So I would say, just from an international credence, any institution that is affiliated with International Coaching Federation would be the best bet that I would say a person should look at for them to go there. But then the most important thing is, I personally think that when somebody has got a background in psychology as well, it helps to bring that into the coaching mix. Because if you look at most coaching models, others are based on the neuro-linguistic programming, others on neuroscience. So that combination plus psychology, and also bringing your own business background and your life experiences combined, they create a powerful coach. So what I'm trying to say is that it is not only about the training institution itself, it's about you as an individual, because you are an institution. So the hard knocks of your life as well come into the mix. The psychology that you've learned, the business that you've gone through, all of those come together.
Can anyone be a coach though?
Um, I, Going back to what I've explained in terms of the character of the person, I don't think necessarily that anyone can become a coach because some people are good in teaching.
Yeah.
And maybe if you are good as a teacher, then it does not necessarily mean that you can be a coach. Some people are good in mentoring. Some people are good in giving advice. But remember, coaching it's about helping people to get insights, to gain insights into their life, to believe that they can, they have the talents, they can see possibilities to be able to change their life. So it takes a certain type of a person to unearth that in a person. Whereas somebody who just advises, drops their expertise with the person and then the person leaves. But it becomes so powerful when you are a coach, you help somebody to get answers themselves because they are there. It is just that how do you go about to tap those answers? So I don't think necessarily that anyone can become a coach because it needs a certain type of temperament as well for you to walk the journey with somebody towards their own development.
And how do you contrast that with motivational speaking?
Okay. Let's use motivational speaking is quite good. There's nothing wrong about it. I also do part of it.
Yeah.
But I contrast motivational speaking from coaching when I use the effervescent example. You know, when you take a effervescent pill and put it into water, then it gets a reaction at that time. And then after that, it dies down.
Yeah.
Motivation does that. But it's a good start. Don't get me wrong. It's not necessarily that people should not be motivated. So motivation takes you only up to a certain point, whereas coaching walks the journey with you.
Yeah.
You know, the coach will walk the journey with you. They will give you the tools. They will give you the techniques for you to be able to navigate life, its challenges, the obstacles, until you see the results. But with motivation, yes, there are words that are used that are quite powerful. But in most cases, you don't leave people with necessarily the tools of how to do stuff and become sustainable on their own.
So it's more sustainable.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's for long term compared to motivation, which is just for now.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. So now I listen to people talking about this subject, and I'm very curious to find out what the facts are. Last year, sometime, I read an article called The Very Real Dangers of Coaching. And they were talking about how, as a coach with your authority, you're either breaking someone or you make them, depending on how you apply yourself. And I think it was talking about the question that I asked you, where I really want to know if anyone can coach. What happens if somebody who doesn't have the demeanor and the characteristics and the qualifications that you spoke about get there and sells coaching and they coach?
Very, very trickery waters for anyone to get into that space. Even seasoned coaches, if they are not aware, they can get or they can damage their clients. So it's very, very important that even as a coach, you know your lines, you draw the boundaries. One thing about coaching, because earlier we spoke about the life coaching and business. Even when you coach somebody as an entrepreneur or you coach for the career, you get into their personal life. Because our stories carry a lot about who we are today and who do we become tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Now, if you get into limiting beliefs and you find that, as by way of example, that somebody cannot tap into their potential because of something that happened in their earlier lives. And let's make an example. Let's say, for example, there was an incident of rape when somebody was growing. That is where you start to realize that, probably, depending on how the conversation goes, this is not my area as a coach to get into. So at that point, you need to draw the line. That's why it's important also as a coach to have a network of other professionals around you where you can be able to refer the client to the person that is specialized in doing in dealing with that area. So if you are not careful, you might get into areas that you are not a specialist in.
Yeah.
So it is important as a coach that you stay in your lane, especially if you realize that the area that the person is battling with is not something that is within the realm of your specialty as a coach.
Thanks for that clarification, Tex. So now, who needs coaching? Who is it for? What is its place in this world, really?
I really like that question. It's quite a powerful question. And I believe, or let me start it this way, and I'll just give you one part of coaching called executive coaching.
Yeah.
When some leaders in corporates believe that when you are in senior and executive roles, you don't need coaching. And Terina Allen, who's one of the coaches from the US, puts it so succinctly for me. She says, coaching is not necessarily a service for people that are poor, a remedial service for people that are poor or low performers.
Yeah.
In fact, to the contrary, it is for those people that holds themselves to higher standard, that wants to make a difference in their lives and in the lives of other people.
Yeah.
So she was talking about executive coaching. So the same applies to life coaching. Anybody who's serious about their lives, anybody who wants to make a change in their lives, anybody who wants to scale up their life deserves coaching.
Yeah.
There are a lot of platforms that you can use. You can go to audios, you can watch videos, and or you can try to do it yourself. I always say, for you to expedite your results instead of DIY, that is where coaching comes. So long as you want to change the trajectory of your life, a trajectory of your career, a trajectory of your business, tap into somebody who can assist you to expedite those areas.
All right. Thank you for that, Tex. Now, the chillers would like to know, in terms of your business, how can you assist them and how do they get hold of you?
Okay.
Who do you want to assist?
Yeah, one of the things that which is my personal brand statement, is that I cultivate, my mission in life really is to cultivate personal mastery and leadership in a lot of people.
Yeah.
So that they can become who they were meant to be.
Yeah.
So I help people in their life areas through life coaching, in careers as well as within the business. So the one way in which I can be able to assist them is to have somebody seated next to me here and we go through a coaching process.
Absolutely. And how do we get hold of you?
My website is dreamsmadepossible.co.za. On LinkedIn, I use my name, Tex Tlhalele, Tex.
Yep.
And then I'm accessible also via the email info@dreamsmadepossible.co.za.
Okay. So Tex, thank you so much for accepting the invitation and for talking to us about what you do, which I really think it's a very important service that is required by businesses, people as individuals, and really executives out there. So if you are out there listening, please get hold of Tex and engage him on whatever it is that you are doing. And that's the area that we normally neglect as society. So there is help. Thank you so much. Enjoy your week.
Thank you.